Alright, let's go. Alright, what's up guys? Today I'm gonna address a pretty frequently asked question on my channel, in the comments and stuff like that, on my setup videos. It's about, oh, I have an 8-inch board, are 147 trucks gonna fit it? That type of question. It's about board sizes and truck sizes and what truck size fits what board size. I'm going to explain this so that you understand it, but the main point is you can have any size board with any size truck. It still fits. You can still put the hardware on and it'll stay on the board. It's about preference, how you want your board to behave and what you're going to use it for. That's the main point about this video. So trucks are usually made to fit within a certain width of a board. So let's say you have a 775 board to an 8-inch board. For that, you're gonna want to have 129 indies or 145 thunders. And what that means is when you put those trucks on that board, the trucks won't be poking out. They will be inside the board, but depending on how wide your board is. So let's say if you have 129 indies and you get an 8-inch board, there will be quite a bit of space between the end of this axle and this thing, the end of the board. There will be some space, but they will fit technically because they're still inside the board. Now, if you got a 775 board with 139 trucks, then the trucks will be poking out from the side. They'll be coming out of the side of the board. So I don't know if that's fitting or not according to you guys, but they still bolt on to the board. So usually for me, because I like to have my shit reasonably perfect, I would never buy a small board and big trucks or a big board and small trucks, meaning that the board I'm gonna ride has to be the same size as the axle of the truck. This is why I usually ride 8.5 boards, because the truck axle itself from this bolt to this bolt is 8.5 inches wide, and my board is 8.5 inches wide. That's what I like to do, because let's say if I had a 8.4 board and 8.5 trucks, that's gonna fuck with me. Even though I'm not gonna notice it, it's gonna mess with my head. The same goes if I had an 8.6 board. I would still be like, oh, is the board too big and my trucks are turning weird? Because I'm weird like that. That's me though. For you guys, I don't know if it's gonna matter. This is what I'm saying. You have to try it out. But always, if you go on the trucks company's website, so like let's say Fonda, if you go to the Fonda Trucks website, there's a size guide for their trucks. So is Indy. You just have to go on the website and look at their size guide. But you can have, I mean, I've seen people ride like an 838 board with 775 trucks and it looks stupid, but I asked them what's wrong, and they're like, oh, I like it like this. So it's down to preference in the end. But sometimes there's a need for it. For example, yeah, I learned this recently. If you're gonna want to skate a mega ramp, you need to have the stupidest setup: 60mm hard wheels, 169 trucks, and like a 8-inch board. Like, the trucks need to be bigger than the board is what I'm trying to say. This is what I mean. Sometimes it's necessary to have the wrong size things to have the board behave properly, if that makes sense. I'm going to move on to board sizes and usually what they're meant for, and truck sizes and things like that. So obviously, the wider the board, the harder it is to flip it technically, and the more space you have to land. So theoretically, if you have a wider board around 8.5, you're gonna be skating more transition because you have more space for your feet, and you're gonna be skating more drops because you have more space to land on your feet once again. But you're not gonna be doing tech tricks like flip in, flip out on ledges. That's technically speaking, which I don't think that's true, because it just depends on the preference of the skater. But yeah, that's the usual sort of stereotype or whatever. And then, okay, so if you're gonna want to be skating tech ledge and like manuals, I guess you're gonna want a smaller board between 8 and 775, and then for that you need to get the appropriate size truck. And then obviously the size of the wheels comes into play as well if you start talking about different types of skating. So like if you're gonna want to skate tranny, obviously you're gonna want to have a bigger wheel because it's easier to lock into the coping. If you ride easier in the ramp, you get more speed. Ramp, yeah, that sounds sick. Ramp, like the bowl or whatever the fuck you're skating, tranny related. And then if you're gonna want to skate ledge, then you're gonna want a smaller wheel because it makes the board lighter and you have more control over the flick and things like that. That's the stuff I know about sizes. Usually, I personally ride an 8.5 board with 149 independent trucks and 52mm wheels. So my setup is like a mixture of everything. I like to have as much board as possible underneath my feet, like because I never land my shit clean. I like to still land it, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be too heavy, so that's why I have the smaller wheels, I guess. Plus I do skate tranny a little bit, so yeah, that's kind of why. So in the end, to be honest, it's all about preference, as I said. But if you want to set your board up properly and it fits, then I guess, as I said, go on the website of the truck company you're buying and look at the size guide. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I'm gonna say for this video. I just wanted to inform you guys because I've seen a lot of questions and I don't want to reply to every single one, but just want to let you know because it's an important part of skateboarding, really, to know about truck sizes and board sizes and sizes overall, about everything. Oh fuck, this thing was screwed on the whole, damn it. There was probably little black bars up the corner the whole video. I'm not refilming it, sorry. That's it, thank you for watching. Thanks to everyone who bought an ASID t-shirt. You can buy one too. You can message me on Facebook to order one. It's through PayPal and we can discuss about prices and whatever depending on where you live because of shipping and stuff like that. But yeah, this is the t-shirts, they're pretty sick. As I said again, thanks for everyone who bought one. And yeah, that's it. Follow me on Instagram, add me on Snapchat, and like my Facebook page. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.